Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading session. I trust everyone had a nice weekend. Hold on a second here. I'll get you my monitor. So the markets just opened up. It seems like they're trying to recover a little bit from last Friday's decline going into the close. Take a look here at the Eagle. So you can see the closing hour, the market was in a little bit of a tailspin. The overnight, the Globex open, little bit of a gap. European session traded a little higher, nothing too exciting. And here we are working off of the hard edge. Not a whole lot of structure at the moment. We'll try to give them a few minutes here and see how things shape up. Crude oil has been, well, in a little bit of a retracement. Here's crude oil on the Eagle. So crude oil prices heading lower. And then about a half an hour or an hour before the crude oil opened, the market made a little bit of a retracement. We're here into the hard edge. This is starting to look very much like a bear flag to me, where we're getting this type of situation. So we're currently against the ATR here on the signal on this green bar sell. However, that bear flag style formation is a little bit tempting. Just taking a look here what the filter is doing. The filter breaking up somewhat, but that's not that unusual, especially when you get these little bit of a retracement. You may want to consider doing a second push on this entry. Oops, there's the problem with crude oil. Let's see if I take it right on the low and right on the high. Nope, still can't afford it. So I may have to look for a comparable signal in the Falcon or the Hawk to try to take advantage of that. Okay, here we are with the NASDAQ at the moment. Still not entirely clear what it wants to do. Oh, here we go with the first micro-macro cross signal right out of the gate. The problem with this is no test of the extreme. So while it's a solid signal, I would probably only risk a single contract on it. The problem is, right, if the market engages us here, it hasn't given us a test of the extreme. The test of the extreme is this rally that should result in a failure before the market heads lower. We haven't seen one of those yet. And we did get a red bar buy here, which is still struggling to rally. We would have anticipated a little bit of a rally off of the red bar buy. So we're sort of in a little bit of a no man's land, if you will. All right, so they are going to try to head lower. I'm going to cancel my profit order. I cancel my break-even order in error 2. We'll see if this bar finishes lower. That would have hit our profit target, so I'll snap the trade to break even. Come on, get down there just a little bit. As the bears look to take early control here. Come on. Come on, give me a couple of bearish bars here in a row, and we can try to adjust our stop a little bit. So it looks like the market encountered this swing low right here. We're into a macro pullback type situation now. And I'm going to get ready with the bar high low stop strategy. If I see the market turn here, I think that's going to be enough for me to start rolling my stops. Jim giving us some advanced decline numbers this morning. Looks like we got about 1,500 on the buy and 1,100 on the sell. So that would give us about a positive 400. Into yellow bars now off that macro pullback signal, which is a little unfortunate. Come on, bears, where'd you go? Okay, working into a green bar sell now. This is our test of the extreme, and the reason why this whole trade was risky at the start. Okay, so here's the green bar sell. And come on, give me, there we go. All right. I'll start to cover it here. If they fail at this point, well, then that's probably a good spot to get out. Okay, come on, sellers. Jim refreshing our advanced decline numbers here. It looks like we've got 1,600 on the buy now and 1,000 on the sell, so that's actually pretty bullish. Come on, one more swing. Let's. This might turn itself into a red bar, or pardon me, a first micro macro cross yet. But we're not getting a whole lot of wiggle room out of this. Come on. Almost back to this area of support where the market bounced before, and now we'll see what the sellers have got, whether the sellers have enough to force the market. Get below there. Come on. Just need somebody to go in there and try to take, looks like 46, 44, and that should be enough to see the market fold over and perhaps head a little bit lower. Come on. No. No, the buyers are digging in again. Yeah. All right. So we took a little bit of a hit on that one, but at least we allowed the trade a little bit of room, tried to get back to that, to a break-even situation. If I had sold it on the hash mark rather than the low, it would have given us a little bit more wiggle room. Looks like here, according to the Falcon, we're kind of bounced off of the primary resistance, held up by the median line. We'll see whether this generates a trend change signal now. Technically, we do have a rule of 3 signal here on the Eagle. We have, well, we have 4 or 3 signals against the band, against the dominant band. Really, after 2 signals, that's really all we need. And what we would be looking for now is, we've had our test of the extreme. So we'd be looking for the second push. We'd be looking for that renewed momentum to drive the market lower. And the trade would look something like that. So essentially looking to enter below these swing lows that have been holding the market up. And here we come with a red bar buy. Look at that. So is that all the sellers are going to be able to muster here with the Raptor? We're actually getting an early signal, a double pullback into the hard edge. This is actually a buy signal on the Raptor. So the Geiger counter, oh, it was, oh, there it goes, very bullish. Oh, trading now for some selling orders. And now they're just kind of stalling out again. So it looks like we may have established a bit of a sideways range, at least early. Okay, that red bar buy having a little follow through. The Raptor signal also getting a little follow through. Yeah, Kai says it looks like the market is bouncing between two really big levels of support and resistance. So far, that's how it seems to be shaping up, isn't it? We're going to see what happens here as it tests the highs. See if we don't get a little bit of a pullback of sorts. I was a little bit too slow to get in on this Raptor trade, although it's shaping up very nicely. All right, so a little bit of hesitation now. We're back near the highs. So this first micro-macro cross-sats printing is definitely a feasible trade. The problem, of course, is that we pretty much are in a sideways range at the moment. Most times it's not a good idea to buy the top end of a trading range. Remember, we typically like to see the market break out, retest, and then buy. And occasionally that will mean that we may actually miss a fast moving market, but better missing a fast moving market than a losing trade. If you did want to take this trade, I would encourage you to take it above the high. Covering this trade is going to be the tough part. You're going to want to risk it back probably to the macro line somewhere. And essentially what you would be looking for here is that initial breakout where you can try to get to your profit target before the market does the retest. That is a feasible trade, by the way. Let's just see what else is shaping up here. Thanks, Jim. Jim says the advanced decline up to 1900 on the buy and just about 850 on the sell. So the advanced decline looking to get a little bit stronger. I'm going to throw that buy order in above the highs. And again, my entry is a little bit delayed here. All right, so you see here on the Geiger counter, the buyers are starting to chew through some of these orders. I think we will see a breakout here. All right, here they come. They're going to make a run for it. We'll see now whether this breakout actually takes. You see the amount of volume going through here? You can tell by the width of the bars. Yeah, Jim says the DAX is selling off, but the NQ is going higher. So if we had taken the first micro macro cross on the signal, we would currently be long. Let's see what's going on here with the Geiger counter. Yeah, they're chewing through the orders here. We're going to get a break, I think. All right, there they go. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to run this trade out again. Oops. Okay, so we're making a little bit of progress here. I think we'll enable the bar high low strategy. There we go. We're back at break even. Come on, just get us through that first swing. There we go, come on. Ah, darn it. Couldn't write out that first little swing, so we'll see. We did hit our profit objective. Of course, that's we didn't take profit on target. I was trying to get a little bit more out of this one. We'll see if that develops into perhaps a 4-arrow consolidation or a macro pullback even. Tony asks a good question. He says, good morning, Eric. I know that you're trading for the room, but are you using the same rules as your personal trading plan? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Trading, I think, is all about trying to spot momentum, right? Trying to see where the buyers and sellers are digging in, taking advantage of that. That's what makes things like the first micro macro cross so powerful, or the red bar buy. See, I was trying to show too many things at once when this red bar buy signal developed. And in hindsight, it's definitely a little bit easier to see. But this occurred the same time we got the Raptor signal, and that was also a very good signal. Jim says the cloud to cloud is up to 50 ticks. So what Jim is referring to, he's probably watching the NASDAQ or the mini Dow. And my settings are a little bit different than Jim's, but Jim's monitoring the width of these clouds. It essentially shows you when the market gets very overbought or oversold. You can see here the cloud was very, very wide, suggesting an oversold situation. The market might rally. If you're going to be looking for things like that, though, I strongly suggest waiting for a test of the extreme. It doesn't have to be a big one. In this case, it's probably just going to be a little itty-bitty test of the extreme. But you might want to get that before you get too anxious about selling, because you won't really know when that top is in until you get that test of the extreme. Boy, they're just making a straight run up here. They might not give me a second chance to get in. Okay, we've got 3 arrows here on our 4-arrow consolidation pattern. The buyer's just chewing through here again. I guess we did get a trend change signal here in the Falcon. It's a little bit late, but it is a trend change signal nonetheless. Similar problem though, where are we going to cover this trade, right? We don't want to cover it too tight. The primary resistance line looks like a fairly decent spot. When in doubt, you can always go to where the trend line curves. All right, well, we'll cancel this in case we get another better looking setup. Oh, we do have a 4-arrow consolidation here. 1, 2, 3, there's arrow number 4. Sorry folks, this one kind of slipped past me. You could set it up like this. We are going to encounter some bigger resistance here as we get to the 46.68 area. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Um, I have a feeling I had my mute button on when I just described this 4-arrow consolidation, so please excuse me if I'm repeating myself. The thing that I like with 4-arrow consolidations is that they tend to develop as, in this case, what would be a bull flag, or sometimes in a sideways pattern. Oops, sorry. Sorry, folks. A little technical difficulty there. Yeah, funny, Jim. Clicked on the wrong buttons. All right. A 4-arrow consolidation typically gives us a bull flag type pattern in an uptrending market or a sideways consolidation. And normally, the market will continue with the same trend it took going into this 4-arrow consolidation. In this instance, you can see the 3-arrow consolidation actually gave you an earlier signal, although the 4th arrow signaled right here, just a little bit further. In faster moving markets like crude oil or gold or perhaps even the Russell, I'll look at establishing the signal on the 3rd arrow. But in most markets, you can wait for the 4th signal, and you can see that we still had some very nice follow through off of this. Okay, so Kai is asking, do the entry signals of a 4-arrow consolidation close to the same price, or is it a valid consolidation when there are 4 arrows at all? Okay, so I think what he's asking is, what if we just get 4 signals in a row? Does that still make it a 4-arrow consolidation? For instance, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that still make this a 4-arrow consolidation? No, not really. In an advancing market, we'd like to see either a sideways consolidation or ideally even like a bear flag, right? This is a bull flag, what's referred to as a bull flag. When the market has a trend, it retraces a little bit against the trend and then it keeps going with the trend. Here's an example right here of where the market was going sideways. So we actually produced a macro pullback signal, which you could have taken. But had you missed that, you had 1, 2, 3, there's your 4th arrow right here. Now a 4-arrow consolidation pattern is strong enough that I will take it off of a yellow bar. In fact, it's the only signal I'll take off of a yellow bar. But it has to meet this criteria where it's either moving sideways or in a decline against the dominant trend. So let's see if I can find you one going the other way. Well, we don't have the overnight here, but this was working into a 4-arrow consolidation. You can see this was a bear flag type thing. We had 1, 2, oops, sorry, that already was signaling to the upside. Okay, bad example. Let me find you a better one. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we have a dominant trend down. We have the beginnings of a 4-arrow consolidation. Here's 1 signal, 2 signals, 3 signals. Oh, shoot. Had that not gone into a first micro-macro cross higher, sorry, I wasn't looking. This should have been our 4th signal lower. We'll pretend here that this was signal number 4. That would have been a saleable signal. Still not a good example. Let me check it out this time before I actually highlight it. See, now these arrows here do not make 4-arrow consolidations. Even though the market is moving sideways, it's clearly moving sideways, there is no dominant trend preceding it, is there? So we got loads of signals there, but no trend going into it. I'm not going to be able to find you one here. The NQ has not been that cooperative last few days, at least regarding 4-arrow consolidations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, here we go. This has a little bit of a trend going into it, starts to retreat. We're getting 1, 2, 3. There's the fourth signal, also happens to be a green bar sell. This is an appealing signal because, well, at this point, it's hard to tell whether this has been the test of the extreme or if we're going to get one more push lower. And as it turns out, we took a little bit of heat, eventually got down to the profit target, but not the best looking 4-arrow consolidation, unfortunately. The one that we saw here this morning is pretty good. The market runs up. Like I said, we get this little bit of a retracement. 1, 2, 3. There's the fourth signal. We're still kind of sideways. And then we get a little bit of a run up from there. So no, you don't just want to take, you don't just want to take 4 arrows because they develop, one after the other. It has to be showing you a consolidation. That's the point of a 4-arrow consolidation pattern. All right, we're getting a little bit of a retracement here in the form of a macro pullback. The hawk providing us with a lot of signals this morning. With these macro pullbacks, we typically look for tests of the extreme, right? That's what makes these appealing. This one's going to be tough because we're already near the highs. You can tell from the width of these bars, there's a lot of selling going on up here. So that's one that you're going to want to dial down the risk on if it actually develops into a proper macro pullback signal. All right, if you excuse me for just a moment, I am going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. So it looks like the macro pullback signal engaged. And let's see, did it get to its profit objective yet? No, not quite. Would have hit the break-even trigger. And you probably would have just been stopped at break-even right about now if you were, in fact, running a break-even trigger. The problem with the market the way it is right now is it's hard to gauge whether or not this recent move has been our move of the day. You know, the markets just don't go on endlessly. They do put in certain ranges and then kind of call it a day. Possible late filter entry signal building here on the Falcon. But once again, we've made a pretty strong run higher. All right, the crude oil market put in a nice rally. Here's crude on the Hawk. And crude oil opens at 6 a.m. Pacific, so we got actually a first micro-macro cross signal right out of the open. But had you missed that one, you got another first micro-macro cross signal right here. Now we're into a macro pullback. I hate these little zigzags that we get because it makes it really hard to tell whether or not this is going to be the test of the extreme. Although I would venture a guess no. Well, look at the buyers just trying to chew through the highs here again. And we do have a late filter entry signal here on our Falcon. We know this is a high probability signal. I'm going to try to risk it back just as far as I can. Now, the late filter entry signal occurs when your filter goes out of sync, comes back into sync. Your trend line never changes color. That's very important for your late filter entry signal. And we probably have a comparable signal here on the Raptor. It's just a little bit of a soft edge bounce. Let's see, this band is probably getting a little overextended, so we'll say from 46.67 to 46.57. So that's 20 points, 80 ticks, or sorry, 10 points, 40 ticks. See if we get a retracement back toward the hard edge. Or you could always set up to take it with trend also. That's a little bit. Let's see, where's the Geiger counter? Well, yeah, there's still a lot of buying going on here. Look at that. The buyer's just trying to chew through. Oh, seller's coming back. if we see this dial, pressed hard against the buy side, in this case it's pressing hard against the sell side, that's showing us that there's a lot of selling pressure. Sellers are just trying to chew through those sell orders. All right, so here go the buyers now. Let's see if they can sustain this. Let's go, buyers, come on. Right back to the high of the morning. A prompt little stall. Come on, get up there. So, well, come on. No, see, the sellers are coming back. The sellers are fighting it back. Really need to see the buyers come through here. All right, hit the break-even trigger. Ooh, I guess I'd better get a stop enabled here. The trade was moving along so light and nicely, I forgot that I didn't have a stop in play. Come on. No, couldn't ride out that little swing. And again, maybe I was a little too quick with the break even. But we are trading at some pretty high levels here. All right, well, it looks like they may have exhausted themselves. That may have been the last ditch effort on the part of the buyers. All right, well, let's see. Crude oil, yeah, not much going on in crude. Gold's still kind of quiet. And now the NQ getting a little bit quiet as well. Yeah, thanks, Mark. I noticed your comment a little bit late there about um, not having a stop order in play. Our macro pullback signal eventually did reach its target. I don't think the late filter entry signal is all the way there yet. No. So we may see one more little push higher to get to that late filter entry signal. Well, now we're just kind of in wait mode. just looking around here, there's really not much going on in any of the markets at this point. And sorry, there's not much to talk about either. Crude oil may be giving us a trend change signal here in the Falcon. So it would be an early trend change signal. But we do have a test of the extreme. We've got the warning dots. We can anticipate where the signal will print. Can I cover it above the high? No, I can't. So I'd have to cover it just above that little swing high there. Like I say, the signal hasn't developed yet. We're just working on it. But that is something to keep in mind. If that produces a triangle and hash mark. All right, well, we'll put that back on the shelf. Yeah, I have a feeling that we may have seen the move of the day. Okay, another macro pullback signal developing here within the NQ. That's typical toward the end of a trend. We tend to see that. And notice the width of our bars here. The equivolume bar is showing us a little bit more volume going through at these price levels. All right, working on a possible beginning trend change signal here. Yeah, things have just gotten really, really quiet, folks. Okay, things starting to break down a little bit, very slowly. Not sure we're going to see any drastic moves yet for the remainder of the session. Well, I don't know if we should shut the room down a little bit early today. There's just nothing going on right now. Looking for a possible trend change signal here in the NQ. They're just, yeah, like Mark says, it's like watching paint dry. The advanced decline, Jim just freshened the numbers here. We got 1980 on the buy, so nearly 2,000 on the buy and just over 900 on the sell. Technically, that's bullish. Here's our crude oil trade in the Falcon. It's tailing off a little bit. Took a little bit of a slip on the entry. And now, of course, the buyers trying to show up. Crude oil's actually got a ways to go if this market starts to decline. First stop, of course, 46.09, or essentially 46.10. After that, we're down here to 45.80, which is feasible. It certainly is a feasible target. I'm only in with a single, though, so I'll probably just take my profit should the market trade that low. But honestly, I think we saw the big run up, and that's all we're going to get today. They're going to test this support down here. You can see on the Eagle down here around 46.64. That's a familiar number. We've seen that number for quite a few days last week. But the way it's going, we might have to wait it out for another half an hour or an hour before we actually get any decent setup, because you can see everything is kind of in transition here. The hawk into yellow bars. I'd be interested in this soft edge sell on the Raptor if we had had a test of the extreme. And we don't have a great big test of the extreme here, so this is a little bit of a a crapshoot kind of trade, you may want to sell it below the swing low in case it retraces higher, which it appears to be doing at the moment. But I think what we're going to do is we're just going to close the room down a little bit early. If you are going to trade this afternoon, a retracement back here to the hard edge around 46.60 does not seem out of reason. But I'm not sure we're going to see any significant rallies. We've kind of put in a very strong rally. The market's pretty much rallied right out of the open. And now we're just kind of moving sideways. So like I say, the market very content with this 46.70 price on the NQ. I would not be an aggressive seller today, though. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap things up. I will see you again tomorrow morning, and hopefully the market will shake up a little bit by then. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.